continues at 10.
And in fact, it is an early taste of winter now as we round out the month of October. Good evening once again to you. I'm David Oliver.
And I'm Jennifer Abreu. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. We have the potential for some roads to become a little slick as temperatures drop tonight, and the city of Springfield is already preparing for the winter season. Color 10's Madison Heaver is here to tell us how they are preparing. She is live outside our studio right now. Madison, how is it feeling out there?
Yeah, Jen, it's very cold. It's just above freezing, as Jamie said earlier. And, you know, while it seems really chilly outside with the possibility of snow, the city of Springfield is actually not very worried about the roads.
We're starting the snow prep right now. We're fully stocked on salt right now, about 8,500 tons.
Springfield City Traffic Engineer Eric Clausen says Public Works actually preps for winter weather earlier than you might think.
We're prepping actually early on in the summer, actually, for a lot of the initial preparation. As far as events, yes, this is pretty early for one of our first winter events.
Public Works has also been updating and maintaining salt and plow trucks, as well as practicing snow routes drivers will take. But for the winter weather expected tonight, they don't think it'll be too dangerous for drivers.
The ground is warm enough right now that we don't expect a whole lot of accumulation. With the inclement weather that we see coming in or approaching today, we're just going to keep an eye on things, and if needed, we're going to have staff come in later tonight and treat the bridges and overpasses. Bridges and overpasses, just because of the temperature, because of the openness underneath, tend to freeze faster than what the road surface does. Just keeping an eye overall on the weather just to make sure nothing dramatically changes from what's forecasted.
He says if things do start to change at all, they'll be ready with crews and trucks.
We have staff available. We'll be ready to go if that does change and we have to bring additional crews in to start treatment of the road surfaces.
He says while they may not be expecting dangerous road conditions, drivers should still be careful and go a little slower than normal as a precaution.
As a driver, when these conditions, especially the first one of the year, arrives, just to take that extra bit of time, keep your distance from the drivers around you. Changes with weather, it does impact the way that people drive. Just be cautious, don't drive too fast for the conditions.
And Clausen told me that if winter sees more snow this season, they're prepared for it. In Springfield, Madison Heaver, Ozarks First.
All right, Madison, thanks. Now we want to bring Jamie back in now. We were just talking in here, Jamie, about how unusual it is for us to be covering this type of stuff already and talking about snow so early.
It's late October. We haven't even made it to Halloween yet. You know, like for today's date and tomorrow's date, record snowfall totals are about a ½ an inch. Okay. So not a lot. So, I mean, even a little bit of snow overnight tonight, very, very unusual. I have been checking road temperatures, though, at least along I-44, looking at road temperatures currently in the upper 30s here in southwest Missouri, including the Springfield area. So still well above freezing. And I think even though we are going to see that switch over to some freezing drizzle and light snow, and it'll continue for a few hours, at worst we're looking at a light glaze, and this is going to be on elevated surfaces. We're talking about car tops, maybe the decks, the rooftops, and that's where we could find a little bit of a dusting of snow as well. Otherwise, for roads, I think they're going to remain just wet. That doesn't mean that you have to speed, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be looking, I don't think, any icy situations on the roadways or the sidewalks. But as the gentleman mentioned earlier, the bridges and overpasses are questionable because those do tend to try to freeze up faster.
All right, that's good news. Thanks, Jamie. All right, well, new at 10 tonight, we brought you a story earlier today about the city of Springfield planning to do compliance checks after the first of the year for vaping and tobacco shops across multiple counties in the area.
This is now with the goal, in fact, of keeping those products, specifically the vaping products, out of the hands of teenagers, but many are already addicted. Color 10's Jesse Inman joins us now tonight at 10 with a report on the effort to reverse the addiction for our young people. Jesse.
Yeah, guys, many of us know someone who has struggled to quit smoking cigarettes. We know that can be a challenge, but now, unbelievably, there's an emphasis from an area hospital on getting an even more impressionable age group to quit another dangerous trend.
Another generation, another huge amount of money going to the industry.
The vaping trend has crept its way into schools, just like cigarettes once did, but something about vaping just seems cooler to teenagers these days. Respiratory therapist and counselor Ann Bristow at Citizens Memorial Hospital in Bolivar says kids are starting very early.
I just heard from a middle school counselor today who said her youngest that she was aware of was 10. We've heard of an 11 and 13-year-old, and then I heard of several 12-year-olds again today from that same counselor.
And that goes all the way up through high school.
With all the vaping prevalence, we decided there was a real need to have a small group, resource group for teenagers, maybe young teenagers.
Now she leads classes to get teens to stop before the damage is done. She does small classes, up to 4 at a time, a couple of times a week. And Bristow believes the more intimate setting helps get the message across.
A lot of education, a lot of just making them aware of the false advertising that they have kind of bought the lie, and thought that vaping was a better option to smoke than smoking, or not even harmful is the way it was first portrayed. I just don't think they realize that they are being duped by the cigarette companies like we were when I was that age.
One big hook is letting kids know that it will not only ruin their lungs, but also their teeth and gums, affecting their smile. Bristow says the best line of defense for kids is their parents.
I think the more they know, the more they can educate their children, because again, they were portrayed as, oh, this is a safer alternative, and this will help you quit smoking if you smoke. So honestly, a lot of the parents were duped first.
Now in the future, Bristow would like to have a class specifically for parents, but right now there are tons of resources out there online with the American Heart Association and so on. But if you are a parent and you want to get your child into one of these classes, you can call the number that's at the bottom of your screen right now. You can reach Citizens Memorial Hospital for more information. That's 417-628-6574.
All right, Jesse, thanks.